Before the surgery, my mother-in-law secretly fed my daughter soup behind my back. When I opened my eyes again, I told her to go feed her grandson instead, laughing as the dogs bite each other. My mother-in-law is as dumb as a pig. Before my daughter Sophia's surgery, the doctor emphasized that she should not eat or drink anything. While I went downstairs to pay the hospital fees, my mother-in-law fed Sophia half a pound of pumpkin soup. As a result, the surgery failed and Sophia died on the operating table. I grabbed a knife and confronted my mother-in-law. My husband and sister-in-law tried to console me, saying that we could have another child if we lost this one. I held Sophia's ashes day and night, unwilling to let go. My mother-in-law said I was possessed and insisted my husband divorce me. Unable to bear the blow, I committed suicide but woke up the night before Sophia's surgery. Seeing Sophia breathing steadily in the hospital bed, I realized I had been given a second chance at life, right on the day my foolish mother-in-law killed Sophia in the previous timeline. In the last life, the doctor repeatedly reminded us that Sophia should not eat or drink anything before the surgery. But while I was paying the hospital fee downstairs, my mother-in-law fed Sophia pumpkin soup from a thermos. Upon hearing that Sophia had died on the operating table, I was consumed by rage and confronted my mother-in-law with a fruit knife, screaming, "The doctor clearly said no food or drink. Why did you do it? Are you brainless?" I didn't know. I was worried Sophia wouldn't have enough strength for the surgery. The doctor only said no eating, not no pumpkin soup, she sobbed, looking at me with tearful eyes, pretending to be the victim. No wonder they say low education levels are a risk factor for major surgeries. "You stupid old fool, you killed my daughter. I'll kill you." But she had a good son. My husband snatched the knife from me, shouting angrily, "Amelia, that's enough. Mom did it for Sophia's good. What does an old woman from the countryside know? It's all my fault, all my fault. If it weren't for me, my granddaughter wouldn't have died. I'll give my life for hers." My mother-in-law then pretended to jump out the window. I was restrained by my husband, watching her act coldly. My sister-in-law and husband quickly held her back and turned to scold me. "Mom wants to die, and you're happy about it?" My sister-in-law wiped tears from her mother's face, sneering at me. "It's just a girl, if she's gone, we can have another. Mom has served you for so long, and you're still ungrateful. Where can you find such a good mother-in-law?" Hearing we can have another child, I laughed bitterly and looked at my husband. He echoed, "My sister is right. We're still young. We can try again." Looking at this family, I felt endless despair. After that, I saw my daughter's face every time I closed my eyes. I was constantly depressed. My mother-in-law said I was possessed and forced me to drink ash mixed with urine from some talismans she got somewhere. When I refused, my sister-in-law beat me up, cursing non-stop. "You useless thing. You can't even give birth to a boy. What's the point of my brother marrying you?" When relatives and friends visited, my mother-in-law cried rivers, claiming she'd rather die than Sophia. Everyone praised her as kind-hearted and scolded me for being an ungrateful daughter-in-law who couldn't give birth to a boy and wanted to drive her mother-in-law to death. "Fine. If you want to die for Sophia, I'll give you this blessing in this life." When the nurse came to the ward to ask us to pay downstairs, I smiled sweetly at my mother-in-law. "Mom, here's the money. You go pay. I'm afraid I'll mess it up because I'm so clumsy." She was surprised. I had never asked her for help before. But she happily agreed, "All right, I'll go. I always say you youngsters still have a lot to learn." I nodded and smiled along. Though my mother-in-law was foolish, she thought she knew everything. It was easy to get rid of her. After seeing her leave, I rushed into the bathroom in the ward with her thermos. I poured out the soup, flushed it down the toilet, and returned to Sophia's bedside. Leaning close, I whispered, "Good girl, the doctor said you shouldn't eat or drink anything. We need to listen to the doctor." Checking the door to ensure my mother-in-law hadn't returned, I added softly, when Grandma comes back and asks, tell her I already gave you pumpkin soup, okay? Sophia sweetly replied, mm. I felt relieved and sat by the bed, waiting for my mother-in-law to return. She came back quickly, holding a bottle of cola proudly. Sophia, look what Grandma brought for you. Hurry up and drink it before the doctors see. I quickly stopped her. Mom, the doctor said no drinking. What do you know? The doctor said no water, not no soda. She glared at me and started to open the bottle to give it to Sophia. My annoyance reached its peak, but I suppressed my anger. Oh, you really know best. Let me feed Sophia. You rest. Did you give the pumpkin soup to the child? She peeked into the thermos while speaking. Oh, it's all gone. I thought there would be some left for me. I opened my mouth, but she cut me off. It's fine that she drank it. I can endure hunger, but the child mustn't starve. She then lay down to sleep, leaving me speechless. At dinner, you didn't eat, but now you're hungry? After confirming that my mother-in-law had turned to lie on her side, I slipped the bottle of cola under Sophia's pillow. Making a shoe gesture, I received another sweet nod. Good, my daughter takes after me. The surgery went smoothly, and the doctor said Sophia could go home. My mother-in-law quickly packed up, muttering, let's hurry up and leave. This hospital is expensive. Michael doesn't earn much. Michael, her precious son, passed the civil service exam from their village to our city. He holds a stable but low-paying government job, earning $3,200 monthly for drinking tea and reading newspapers. After my father-in-law passed away 2 years ago, my mother-in-law moved in to take care of us. My sister-in-law, divorced with nowhere to go, also came with her child. They all lived in the house my parents left behind. All expenses relied on my salary. How hard was it for them to live off my efforts? I didn't bother arguing with such people, but my mother-in-law started crying. You ungrateful thing. I bought the soda with good intentions, and not a drop was touched. She found the soda under the pillow, but I didn't care anymore since the surgery was over. However, my husband, busy with his phone, wasn't pleased. Amelia, Mom bought it with good intentions. Why didn't you let her drink it? Michael, don't be angry, my mother-in-law wiped her tears. I knew city people looked down on me. I'll pack up and return to the village. Grandma, don't be angry, Sophia spoke up. I didn't want to drink it. I wanted to save it for Grandma. Oh, sweet granddaughter. You're so filial, just like your father, my mother-in-law exclaimed, glaring at me. Sophia isn't close to me usually. It must be your teaching. Michael added smugly, teach the kid to be closer to elders. A virtuous wife brings prosperity for 3 generations. I knew Sophia had never been close to my mother-in-law. But the virtuous wife my husband referred to probably couldn't be applied to my mother-in-law first. Though she never said it aloud, my mother-in-law had always disliked this granddaughter. When Sophia started elementary school, my mother-in-law took on the task of taking her to school. I was busy with work, thinking that Sophia hadn't seen her grandmother much these years. With my father-in-law recently deceased, it was a good opportunity for them to bond. Who knew my mother-in-law would walk Sophia to school every day to save $2 on bus fare? The school was 7 or 8 stops away, and this pair walked slowly, causing Sophia to be late and punished repeatedly. Teachers called me more than once. Before I could confront her about it, I casually asked at dinner why they didn't take the bus. My mother-in-law preemptively slammed her bowl and chopsticks on the table and burst into tears. I just wanted to save some money for the family. What did I do wrong? All the groceries I buy are saved up for you. Aren't you eating well? Michael sympathized with his mother again. All right, Mom did it to ease our burden. If you don't like it, you take Sophia to school yourself. My mother-in-law muttered, useless people are always disliked. I save money to buy good food for you, yet I eat leftovers daily. Still, you complain. She started crying again, but I watched the scene like a drama. Who doesn't have leftover scraps after every meal? Plates without a trace of food were something my mother-in-law cherished, saving them for the next meal with bread. She made herself pitiful, suffering unnecessarily. Not only did she suffer, but she also deducted Sophia's breakfast money daily, replacing it with pickles she made herself. Other kids had fried chicken and hamburgers, but my daughter ate nutrition-less meals. You understand nothing. This is healthy. We couldn't even dream of eating this in our childhood. Sophia's breakfast money wasn't wasted either, it all went to my nephew John. He indulged in spicy gluten and drinks daily. My mother-in-law justified it, a daughter is like spilt water. If you can't have a son, we'll rely on John for support when we're old. Our 4-bedroom, 2-living-room house seemed spacious, but it was packed. My husband and I shared one room, my mother-in-law had another, my sister-in-law and her son John had one, and Sophia had her own. On the third day Evelyn and her son arrived, they kicked Sophia out of her room while I was on a business trip, claiming it was inappropriate for a growing boy to share a room with his mother. Understanding, agreeing, but why kick my daughter out? When I returned, Sophia cried to me, saying her grandmother listened to operas every night, making it impossible for her to sleep. When I confronted my mother-in-law, she apologized profusely, promising it wouldn't happen again. Then she turned around to cry to her son. I'm old and can't hear well. How is turning up the volume hurting anyone? This granddaughter is taught badly by her mother and shows no respect for elders. Evelyn chimed in, exactly. Our John is so filial. He always saves food for his grandma. Girls are just inferior to boys. I almost fainted upon hearing this. Aren't you a woman too? But it's fine. In my past life, though I was heartbroken after Sophia's death, I knew Evelyn's son John would soon develop a hernia. Before surgery, he also couldn't eat or drink. In the previous life, thanks to Sophia's lesson, John narrowly escaped disaster. But this time, there's no one to shield him. Evelyn, your blessings are yet to come. Sure enough, less than a week after Sophia was discharged, John was rushed to the hospital overnight. This time, they changed hospitals. My mother-in-law claimed the last place was full of quacks. True to form, the new doctor also strictly emphasized, no food, no water. Evelyn and my mother-in-law promised repeatedly, but once the doctor left, my mother-in-law magically pulled out KFC and cola. TSK, my daughter got pumpkin soup. John, hurry up and eat. You need strength for the surgery, she said, unpacking the food. Evelyn immediately stopped her, Mom. This isn't allowed. The doctor said no eating. So you know it's not allowed? Why did you make trouble for me last time? What's wrong with it? Sophia ate too, and nothing happened to her. She elbowed me, tell them, didn't Sophia drink a big bowl of pumpkin soup? I thought for a moment and said, Mom, you've eaten more salt than we've eaten rice. I trust you. Oh, finally, a good daughter-in-law who understands a mother's good intentions. She glared at Evelyn, even your own daughter doesn't trust her mother, but the daughter-in-law does. Evelyn's face turned red and white alternately, speechless for a moment. Her phone rang, and before leaving to answer, she left a parting remark. Absolutely no eating. Listen to the doctor. Seeing Evelyn leave, I picked up the burger and clicked my tongue. If John doesn't eat it, we might as well give it to Sophia. John, beside me, eagerly demanded, give it to me. I'm hungry. That brat will come soon. The brat he mentioned was Sophia. Initially, Evelyn divorced because she insisted on having this hyper-masculine child, resulting in her husband divorcing her decisively. At home, he constantly bullied my daughter, stealing her toys and tearing up her completed homework. Once, he pushed Sophia down the stairs. If I hadn't caught her in time, the consequences would have been unimaginable. Watching John devour the food ravenously, I nodded reassuringly and left the ward, heading home. I feared staying any longer would make me burst out laughing. Not long after, my husband called. John didn't make it through. He died on the operating table. By the time I leisurely arrived at the hospital, my mother-in-law was tearing apart the doctor. "You murderers! You deliberately didn't treat my precious grandson properly." Her strength was unmatched, ripping the doctor's coat into a cardigan. My husband held the frenzied Evelyn, with John's body lying beside them. The doctor, with a scratched face, roared furiously. "We explicitly said multiple times no eating or drinking. Why did you still feed him? This is murder." "I didn't feed him. He ate a hamburger." My mother-in-law acted as if she suffered a great injustice. "My child was thirsty, so I dared not give him water. I only let him have a few sips of cola." How could Evelyn bear to hear this? She wildly lunged at her mother. "It's all your fault. I explicitly said no eating, no drinking, but you still fed him. You stupid old fool, give me back my son." My mother-in-law quickly hid behind my husband, putting on another pitiful act. "I was just worried the child wouldn't have strength on the operating table. I love my grandson." "Yes, sis, Mom did it for John's good. You know she's uneducated. She meant well." My husband held Evelyn back, joining in the persuasion. This scene felt familiar. The boomerang of fate hit them. Did it hurt now? I joined in the consolation. "Don't worry, sis. You're still young. You can have another child." Evelyn froze, struggling wildly and cursing. "You wretch who can't bear sons. Do you think my son is as worthless as your daughter? Just like that? Yes, you can bear children. Bear 8 sons. Go ahead and bear more." "Amelia, what nonsense are you spouting?" My husband was angry. "Oh, so you know this talk is inappropriate." "Exactly, the daughter-in-law is right." My mother-in-law muttered in agreement. "With a child in tow, it's hard to find someone. I've saved you the trouble." Evelyn's cries weakened, lost in thought. Seeing her expression, it seemed she had truly taken my words to heart. Amidst the onlookers' gossip, the family left in disgrace. Evelyn indeed took my words to heart. Not long after hastily arranging her son's funeral, she dressed up flamboyantly every day. Soon, she claimed to have found true love and was preparing to meet the parents. The man was from Chicago, while we were from a small northern town. On the day he came to our house for dinner, the whole family bustled around cleaning. Evelyn paraded in front of me. "See, with conditions like mine, finding a boyfriend like this is easy." Thinking life was getting better? I wouldn't allow it. I found my mother-in-law busy cooking in the kitchen. "You're still happy? His family is so far away. Once your daughter marries, she belongs to another family. How can you expect her to take care of you?" My mother-in-law snapped out of it, slapping her thigh. "You're right, daughter-in-law. I almost fell for it. What should we do? If he's wealthy, let him pay a hefty bride price. You keep it for retirement. It'll show if he's sincere." My mother-in-law pondered. "We'll do as you say." The dining table was laden with dishes. She even specially stewed a chicken. 1 drumstick for Michael, 1 for her future son-in-law. When discussing taking Evelyn home, my mother-in-law spoke up. "William, we have customs in our hometown we need to discuss." William, chewing on a drumstick, mumbled, "Go ahead." Cough cough. "In our area, the bride price for a first marriage is $188,000. But since Evelyn is remarried, it's $288,000. She cleared her throat, saying something that shocked me. "Your family married me in a modern wedding with no bride price. Turns out, you only modernized for me. Truly double standards." Evelyn wanted to say something but was silenced by a glare from my mother-in-law. "All right, anything else?" William agreed readily. I was stunned. He agreed just like that? Hearing this, my mother-in-law became even more delighted. Also, you need to buy my family a gold belt. Since Evelyn is remarried, make it 2. I secretly gasped. 2 gold belts? Even Tyson wouldn't dare wear that. William still nodded, focused on eating, seemingly unfazed by these demands. I was dumbfounded. Isn't he from Chicago? Why does his accent sound so Mexican? But what my mother-in-law said next further lowered this family's standards. Besides the gold belt, we have other customs. Things like gold rings, gold bracelets, etc. Let's settle for $888,000. Everyone likes auspicious numbers. And also, my husband couldn't wait to speak up. You need to buy me, the younger brother, a car as a meeting gift. Doesn't have to be too expensive. BBA is fine. It's just for good luck. I rubbed my temples. How foolish can you get? How did you pass the provincial exam and interview? You dare mention BBA? Don't you know what impact it can cause? This family rattled on, listing a bunch of demands. I roughly calculated that this marriage would cost hundreds of thousands. Bold requests indeed. Surprisingly, William didn't explode in anger but said he needed to consider. After sending William off, I secretly found my sister-in-law. Sis, have you considered that Mom and Michael might be doing this on purpose? What are you talking about? On purpose? I saw you wanted to say something earlier, but Mom stopped you. I just thought it was a bit too much. You think so too, right? I feel like Mom doesn't want you to remarry. Seeing my sister-in-law deep in thought, I quickly added fuel to the fire. If you marry so far away, you definitely won't be able to help the family or take care of Mom. They must be unwilling for you to remarry. Before I could finish speaking, my sister-in-law rushed angrily to her brother and mother-in-law. Do you envy my happiness? Do you want to drive my fiancé away? Evelyn, how can you say that? Isn't this for your own good? Yes, sis. We just need to know if he really loves you. This mother-son duo was singing the same tune, almost making me believe them. For my good? Then let me ask you, will you give me the dowry you asked for? Do I have any wedding gifts? Seeing her mother-in-law silent, Evelyn pressed further. What about the gold belt and the $880,000 from cashing in 10 pieces of jewelry? Still no response from her mother-in-law, Evelyn turned to Michael. And you, asking him to buy you a car, can I take that car with me? Her mother-in-law stuttered for a while. Evelyn, you should understand your brother. He still needs to have grandchildren, and later, he'll need to save money for their house, car, and marriage. Oh, so all this for my good means I get nothing out of it? It seemed like Evelyn suddenly saw through everything and pressed on relentlessly. The argument ended unpleasantly, but a few days later, William actually called. He said his family agreed, but with one condition. He wanted Evelyn to visit his parents as soon as possible, and they would transfer the money immediately after meeting them. Evelyn finally got what she wanted and became even more arrogant. It's because William loves me so much. If it were someone else, you would have scared him away. If you ruin my marriage, I won't forgive you. Her mother-in-law nodded repeatedly. William is good to you. Didn't I tell you? We had to test if he truly loves you. Yes, sis. Thanks to Mom, we found this golden partner. Michael chimed in, and their mother quickly asked sweetly. See, I'm doing this for your good. After you get married, can you take me to enjoy life with you? Evelyn sneered at her mother. Now you want to enjoy life? What about when you wanted to take over my dowry? Their mother smiled apologetically. I was afraid you couldn't manage too much money. After you marry, all the property will be yours. I'll go help you keep an eye on them. When you and your brother come over, you can clean the house and watch the door. As a wealthy wife, I can't do those chores. So, their mother sent them off that day, saying they should return early. Then came Evelyn's boastful messages in the family group. Just landed, the air here is fresh. On the train now, sleeping in a berth is comfortable. On the bus now, he's so considerate, keeping my ID to prevent loss, treating me like a child. Entering the village soon, it's close to Mexico on the map. We can travel abroad often in the future. Not talking to you all anymore, he wants my phone since there's no signal in the village. For the next few days, no matter how much her mother and brother texted, Evelyn didn't reply. They were both furious, cursing Evelyn for forgetting them once she lived well. Hey, didn't you notice? Mexico? It had been over 10 days since Evelyn left for her good life. During this time, Michael and their mother cursed and broke things, resenting Evelyn for not taking them to live well. Thankfully, Sophia now lived on campus, otherwise, in such a family, it would be hard to grow up healthy. I comforted their mother, "Don't worry, Mom. Evelyn might be ungrateful, but I am not. Today's payday, let's treat you to a big meal. What's the point of eating? Michael earns money so hard, why don't you show some understanding?" I felt sick hearing her ingratitude. Almost all household expenses were maintained by me, while Michael's earnings barely covered himself. Suppressing the urge to slap her, I forced a smile. To show consideration for Michael, I want him to eat well and regain strength. That's better. If it weren't for your greediness, I wouldn't spend this money. She sounded nice, but at the restaurant, she ordered the most dishes. Michael waved generously, "Mom, order whatever you want. You've suffered so much, it's time to enjoy life." Their mother praised her son for being filial and capable, while I rolled my eyes secretly. Michael talks pretty, but why doesn't he earn money himself? Using your wife's money to treat your mom and acting righteous. In the end, their mother ordered 6 dishes and added a hot pot with cilantro. Knowing I hate cilantro and feel nauseous at its smell. Almost all dishes she ordered had cilantro, and the cilantro smell from the hot pot nearly overwhelmed me. I don't eat cilantro, but her son does. So I pay, and all I get are dishes I can't eat. Unable to stay in the room, I excused myself to the restroom and complained to my friend in an empty private room, calming down for a while before returning. Checking the time, nearly 2 hours had passed. They must be almost done eating. My absence made no difference to the dinner party. If they really wanted me to join, they wouldn't have ordered so much cilantro. When I returned to the private room, Michael had already drunk 7 or 8 beers, and the table was nearly empty. Their mother smiled, "Amelia, I know you don't like these dishes, so we didn't wait for you." "You knew I didn't like them and still ordered them?" I responded with a similar smile, "It's okay, Mom. You and Michael enjoying the meal is enough. We're full." Their mother was quite satisfied with my response, "You're becoming a good wife indeed. Enough talk, settle the bill quickly. I'm tired." Michael burped and commanded. Without a word, I went to the front desk to pay. After paying and walking to the door, I heard their mother arguing with Michael. "Mom, let's just hire a designated driver. It won't cost much. Why bother? Your earning money isn't easy. Listen to me, let's drive back." Sure enough, they fell into the trap. The purpose of bringing them out today was to predict that Michael would crave drinking, and their mother absolutely wouldn't spend money on a designated driver. Plus, I don't drive. I stepped forward and added, "Michael, listen to Mom. How can Mom harm you?" Exactly. Our daughter-in-law understands. This is drunk driving. If caught, your license will be revoked. Don't I know that? We've gone out so many times, and I haven't seen any drunk driving checks. And those officers are just for show. If we encounter them, a couple of cigarettes will do, right? I suppressed my laughter. Calling you stupid is no exaggeration. In this rule of law society, with internet and body cameras, you think bribing officers works? Michael argued with their mother for a few more sentences and eventually compromised. Before getting into the car, he cursed at me, "Useless thing, can't even drive." "Well, you're useful. This car is mine." We hadn't driven far when we encountered a drunk driving check. Michael panicked and abruptly turned the steering wheel to head back. How could the traffic officer let him? They stopped him immediately for a breathalyzer test. Michael smiled apologetically. "Officer, please make an exception. Comrade, it's your duty to cooperate with us." Michael lost his temper. "Are you deliberately making things difficult? Should I call your chief? Do you really know the chief?" Hilarious. As more onlookers gathered, the officer replied, "The body camera is recording." "Which chief are you referring to?" Seeing Michael stunned, I whispered to their mother, "They look down on us." They don't know who Michael is." Their mother's eyes lit up. "Right. Do you know who my son is? He's a high-ranking official here. Be careful, or we'll arrest all of you." TSK, what has Michael told his mother? Even if you were a top official, you shouldn't mention it now. Michael suddenly realized and urgently pulled his mother. "Mom, don't talk nonsense." "How is this nonsense?" Their mother shook off her son and pointed at the arriving officers, cursing. "You bunch of lowly workers, how dare you check my son? Be careful, or I'll strip you of your uniforms." TSK, Michael was truly dug into a hole. "Shut up. Are you stupid?" Seeing he couldn't hold back his mother, Michael slapped her in desperation. I inwardly applauded. By then, a crowd had gathered around the commotion. Their mother looked at her son in disbelief and sat on the ground crying loudly, "Unjust heavens. My son hit his own mother." While shouting, she messed up her hair and kicked her legs wildly. "My life. I raised you, and now that you're successful, you hate your own mother. Everyone, look at this official here. Heaven help me. I can't live anymore." I enjoyed watching this mother-son duo, put on a mask, and stood aside, leaving the stage to them. Michael was fired twice and stormed home with an iron face. "What's wrong with you? Are you jealous of my happiness?" He grabbed his mother and gritted his teeth. "Now I'm fired. Are you happy? I told you not to drive drunk, but you insisted. Even if we were caught for drunk driving, it's just a license revocation. But you had to make a scene while being recorded. What, worried your son's hat is too stable? My sister is right. You're a stupid old fool thinking highly of yourself." Their mother was speechless and looked at me for help. I pretended to console Michael. "Honey, don't blame Mom. She was just afraid you'd suffer. Mom did this for your good. If she knew this would happen, she wouldn't have done it. She meant well, didn't she? Sounds familiar?" I gave back every word Michael said to me in my past life. No empathy, only until the needle pricks yourself. Now the needle pricks you, do you feel the pain? Right, our daughter-in-law is correct. Mom meant well. Enough. Stop talking. Michael was on the verge of collapse, and I secretly rejoiced. Now online, videos of this bizarre mother-son pair were everywhere. Netizens started digging up information. They even found videos of their previous hospital rampage. Michael was completely deflated. He stayed at home doing nothing except talking to his plants. Their mother wore a sour face, acting indifferent to his fate. I told her, "Isn't he mentally broken from the shock?" Their mother, "This unfilial son, I'll pretend I never had him." You can't say that. I held her hand emotionally. Without Michael, how will we survive? Who will support you in your old age? That struck a chord with her. Someone has to support her, right? Seeing it worked, I continued, "Michael was so filial before. Why did he suddenly hit you this time?" Their mother lowered her head, pondered, and suddenly understood. I know. Michael must be possessed. Hearing this, I knew I succeeded. Their mother continued her conjecture, someone must be jealous of our good life and scheming against us. Exactly. It's normal for others to be jealous of Michael, who's obedient and capable. Mom, since Michael is possessed, what should we do? No problem. Mom knows a folk remedy specifically for possession. I knew she had that remedy, and I wanted her son to taste that bitterness. True to form, their mother used the method from my past life, burning Chinese talismans into ash and washing them down with urine. I volunteered to collect the urine. In my past life, I was forced to drink John's urine by their family. How could I not repay them personally? As for the urine, I couldn't be bothered collecting it. I simply took some from a public toilet under the cover of darkness. Their mother took it, examined it, and praised me for being competent, saying the quality was good. Who knows how she judged the quality of that stuff? With everything ready, that night, their mother tied Michael to the bed while he was asleep. Then she woke him up, lovingly holding the talisman water and pouring it into Michael's mouth. Seeing that strange-smelling concoction, Michael struggled desperately. Good son, drink it. You'll be fine afterward. Michael was terrified, using all his strength to break free, spilling the urine water all over his face. But their mother had a way. Last time, my sister-in-law only forced it down, but this time, their mother pinched Michael's nose, forcing him to open his mouth. Not a drop wasted. Michael cried, but their mother nodded satisfactorily, saying a few more times would do. I was also satisfied, having filmed everything on my phone. Uploaded, trending, Michael became popular again. This time, Michael truly went mad. When the mental hospital staff came to take him away, he buried his head in a basin, pretending to be a plant. Their mother cried daily, claiming she didn't mean it. After the police investigated and took statements, the matter was dropped. Now, only the two of us remained at home. Their mother changed her usual behavior and began flattering me, saying a lot of nice things. Did she repent? No, she wanted me to visit Michael at the mental hospital and leave him air. I asked her, what about Sophia? Don't forget, Sophia is your biological granddaughter. Their mother awkwardly smiled, girls are unreliable. Won't you need someone to support you in old age? Does your Michael support you in old age? I didn't say it aloud, pretending to visit the mental hospital several times, saying Michael was closely monitored and couldn't do it. I thought their mother would calm down, but unexpectedly, people from their hometown came. It was Michael's uncle, demanding that Sophia and I move out, saying the house should belong to their family. He proposed adopting his grandson to Michael, but the house must be transferred to his grandson. Looking at their mother silently agreeing, I knew this was her idea. This house was left to me by my parents. I leaned on the sofa, looking at their mother and Michael's uncle. Michael's uncle smoked, flicking ash carelessly onto the floor. Dear niece, technically you're right, but you should understand our goodwill. Their mother hurriedly echoed, exactly. Once your nephew is adopted, you'll have someone to take care of you in old age. Exchanging a house for a son, what a good deal. So easily said. Our house is over 2,150 square feet, worth at least $3 million now. Do I need others to support me with $3 million? Hearing that much money, their eyes turned red, wanting to sell the house immediately. I continued, Uncle, please rest at the hotel first. Give me a few more days to think about it. Michael's uncle had no choice but to leave. After closing the door, I said to their mother, oh, my dear mother, have others fooled you silly? Their mother prepared to explode, but I quickly added. Mom, think carefully. That child is already grown. Will he regard you as his real grandmother in the future? We're alone and helpless. What if they don't recognize us later? What then? Besides, the doctor said Michael has a chance to recover. Why are they rushing to seize our property now? What's their intention? Their mother stormed out, and I saw her pocketing a fruit knife. Years later, I met their mother again. Oh, she's my ex-mother-in-law now. She was imprisoned for murder, and I quickly divorced, sold the house, and moved to another city with Sophia. But surprisingly, she managed to find me. My ex-mother-in-law wore ragged clothes, bringing her precious son to my house. Michael was still in that idiotic state, chewing his fingers and giggling. Amelia, you can't abandon us. My ex-mother-in-law was still the same, only knowing how to cry and play the victim. I'm divorced from Michael. If you come again, I'll call the police to arrest you. I laughed. Don't you understand? Living this way now is all your fault. My ex-mother-in-law clenched her teeth. How cruel you are. 100 days of kindness after a day of marriage, how can you abandon us? When did you ever see me as your daughter-in-law? Or maybe you saw me too much as your daughter-in-law, merely an appendage of your son. I pointed at Michael, such a piece of trash, no wonder I was foolish enough to marry him. Isn't he your son, Michael? Let him glorify your family. I'm unworthy of your family. She seemed shocked by my firmness. I'm your mother. Are you hiding a man in the house, daring to speak to me like this? Spit. I'm your mother. I spat back, only someone like you would think women can't live without men. Being a woman yet leading the way in looking down on women. After saying this, I ignored her cries and shut the door, dialing a number. Hello, rescue station? There are 2 beggars near my house who can't find their way home. They're pitiful. Please help send them home. Send them home? Only to their village. Back in the village, my ex-mother-in-law killed Michael's uncle. Could they have any good there? A crazy old woman with a foolish son, TSK. Mom, who are you calling? Sophia, preparing for her postgraduate exams in the room, peeked out. I hugged Sophia tightly. Oh, just calling the garbage collection station.